Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Me and my dad have been on this Alzheimer's journey for 32 months now. You never really get used to it. The daily challenges we take on and the never-ending challenges Alzheimer's brings. It's things that you never thought possible, but they happen. But with it, we continue on and we do what we have to do to stay in the fight.
1 in 10 Americans over age 65 is living with Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's Association estimates that as many as 16 million people over the age of 65 could be diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease by the year 2050.
There is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, only medications to help treat the symptoms.
It's the most costly disease to our society right now.
You want to get in the shower?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on. You been up?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Right here?
Yeah. You want to get up?
Right here?
Yeah, Dad.
Wow.
Get you showered? Huh? Come on. No, this way. This way. How you feeling, Dad?
No, I got it.
Feeling okay?
Right here?
Yeah, the old man's got a ticket number 2, so because it's like a kid with a toilet paper, he'll take the roll and he'll throw it in, and the roll's toilet paper I hide, so he doesn't just waste it. Dad, I'm gonna give you this roll, okay? You're gonna grab it. Tell me when you get it. Got it? All right, cool. A year ago, he would make attempts to go to the bathroom. Like, he would have went and he would have maybe not flushed the toilet or wiped his, behind right. Just little things, but now it's a complete, that thought process of, hey, I need to use the bathroom is entirely gone. What's more frustrating, having a man to clog your toilet with hiding toilet paper like I used to a year ago, to now he doesn't need it no more because he doesn't even attempt to use it no more. I mean, it's wild, just the progression of what you see with how Alzheimer's has taken his ability to use the bathroom now. It's gone. It's done, and it hasn't been here since, I would say, 8-9 months.
Right here?
Yep, right here. Swallow your toothpaste? You're not supposed to swallow it. You're supposed to spit it. You swallowed your toothpaste, huh?
Mm-hmm.
An Oregon man is one of the thousands of people in our region with the disease. His son has now become his caregiver, and their story has captured hearts all over the world.
At the age of just 28, Ruben Gonzalez went from a carefree young man to his father's caregiver. His story is a powerful example of the importance of family, love, and unlocking the mysteries of Alzheimer's disease.
Dealing with Alzheimer's and my dad, a lot of people say, you're a good son and you're a good person, and all of that I appreciate it all. The house that me and my dad live in, the only people capable of telling the stories that are happening in the house, they can only come from me, because my dad can't tell his side. And I think the ugly truth of dealing with Alzheimer's is how some days are too much to take. And there was a day where I had a long day at work. You come home and Dad has a mess in his diaper, and you change his diaper, and you're trying to have dinner, and it's the dinner you can't enjoy because Dad keeps coming up to you and trying to talk, and it's the repetitive same words, and you're trying to be nice, but there's just some days you need to be left alone. You need silence, but it's hard to find it in this household. It's 8:30 at night, and I get my dad ready for bed, and he's got a dirty diaper. As I'm doing this one night, I take his diaper off, I rip it off, and he takes his hands and he starts digging at his behind, and it's just a mess. He's grabbing the counter, he's grabbing the walls, and I lost it. I'm cussing, I'm getting mad, and as you're yelling at your dad, it's emotional because he's looking at you because he knows he's confused, and he knows you're mad because the sound of your voice, the tone of your voice changes, and I just lose it, grab his hands, and I'm trying to wash him and trying to get his new diaper on, and as I'm putting the new diaper on, he grabs his other hand and he's trying to tug you away, and I remember I just put him in his room, kicked the trash can as hard as I could in the bathroom, and as you're doing it, you feel bad about it because it's not his fault, it's not his fault. You don't want him to be scared, but when that happens, it's like, what am I becoming? Am I a bad person now? What am I really doing? Is this normal? Because people don't talk about that, really. You hear caregiver stories, yeah, but you don't hear the stories of, is it normal to lose your temper like that? Or to make your dad feel scared like that? It's something that will never escape my mind, but it's also something that's been so repetitive in my brain where I've pretty much promised myself I would never lose my temper like that again with him. So with losing my temper with dad, and promised myself I wouldn't lose my temper the way I have or have done before, you question yourself how much you do for dad, and you kind of want to feel appreciated in what you do. And I'm on my hands and knees getting dad's socks on, and he keeps repeating the same words, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's just what he says now. He just says random things, and out of all the things he rambles, you kind of want to hear, I love you, or hey, just say my name type thing. So, as I'm on my knees in the hallway, putting his socks on, and I look up at him, I'm grabbing his hand, and I'm like, Dad, say you love me. And he looks at me, he says, oh yeah? I'm like, Dad, say you love me. And he's like, oh yeah? I'm like, Dad, say you love me. It was like a moment to where I got really weird about it, as weird as it sounds. Just like, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna make him, in his own way, say that he loves me or say my name. I did this for, as crazy as it sounds, 6 or 7 minutes. And he's looking at me, straight in the eye, and I'm shaking his hands. Dad, say you love me. Say my name, Dad. Can you say my name, Dad? Can you say my name? And out of all that, he says my brother's name. You're desperate, you get desperate for sure. There's sometimes even where I do yard work, in the summer, and I'm talking to one of the neighbors, and I got a beer in my hand. Little does he know, 10 minutes ago, my dad was on the couch, and I just wanted to be comforted for 5 minutes, and I lay my head on my dad's chest while he's on the couch, and I take his arms and put them around me and listen to his beating heart. And you're just wishing that he's, has a conversation like, how's your day? Or, I know it's not gonna happen, but there's times you think a miracle is gonna happen and it doesn't. In some ways, you think that you can break the rules and you can break the habit of Alzheimer's and think you can get to him and say, hey, I love you, Ruben, and it's something I know I'll never hear. Dad and him, changing and things he does, and the habits he's, lost, and new habits that have been created because he's been so confused. One of the ones that's happened probably about 5-6 months ago was the wandering at night. At nighttime I usually sleep, complete, darkness, no TV on or anything, and I was sleeping, And I remember hearing like a sound. It sounded like just a rubbing sound. And I looked over at my clock, and it was about maybe 11:45. And going back to bed, and about a half hour later, I get up and I hear the same sound again. And I'm really, kind of freaking out, So I grab my cell phone and I shine the flashlight, and all I see in the corner is my dad. He's in the corner, and he's like just standing like this. And then I realize he's pretty much just moving like this. And that was the sound. He was doing it for about at least a good half hour. My heart's racing because you're so like, what's going on, And you're like, Dad, and he turns around, and it's like he's deer in headlights. He doesn't know what to do or where he's at, obviously. That rest of the night, I really don't sleep well because it's your dad who's just wandering at night. It really mentally gets to you after a while. A lot of changes have happened with the wandering. We now have alarms now on the doors to where if he opens a door, the alarm goes off for his own safety. You just don't want him wandering outside and being lost, because if a man's lost in his own house in a corner of a room, of his son's bedroom, there's no telling what can happen if he got out one night for hours and we wouldn't know. So yes, alarms are on the door now for our safety and to clear our conscience of anything happening to Dad. So me and my brother here, by the area where my dad first started back 40 years ago at Chrysler, well, it was called the Cove. We're back in the same grounds, and it's actually the same grounds my brother walks on.
Knowing that this is where my dad originally started his career at Chrysler, and that's where I'm at now, it's emotional, and I'm proud of it myself, knowing that he actually put work in over here, and I'm doing the same thing as well.
Anything that was provided to me and my brother, was whether it was housing or food or even having a decent childhood, toys or a good Christmas is because of my dad's hard work. I think through this whole crazy situation, one thing that came good out of it was me and my brother, really stepping up and really 100% being on our own, and just knowing that, going to work every day and being a hard worker is something you can always be proud of. It's what my dad really wanted us to become. They say that Alzheimer's, it affects a lot of things, obviously your speech or your habits, but they say emotions are like one of the last things they can really take. It was the year 2000, I'd say 15. Me and my dad have always been close, and I got him a Father's Day card, and I used to get him one pretty much every year. For some reason this time, in 2015, I gave him a Father's Day card. Well, I was intending on giving him a Father's Day card. And in it, for some reason, I kind of felt the need to really express, everything he's done for me, the support he's given me, the job he helped me get, and just being always there for me, always being a good man, and, always being the one just to look up to in general. For some reason in my mind, I was like, man, maybe this letter's too emotional for, Dad or us. I mean, at that time in my mind, Dad's always going to be around, nothing's ever going to happen type, thing. When Dad got diagnosed with his condition. That day and that moment of that card, it started getting at me after a while, because as he was kind of fading, out, day by day, week by week, I was really thinking to myself, why did I never give him that card? We're at the dining room, one night actually, and this had to be probably maybe 3 months after he got diagnosed. I told him, I said, Dad, you're a good dad. He's like, thank you, I had this Father's Day card, Dad. I had this Father's Day card, and I told you how much I loved you, and I told you how much you meant to me, and I told you how much I'm grateful to have you in my life, and I never gave it to you, Dad. I never gave it to you. I kept telling him, I never gave it to you, I never gave it to you. And as I'm telling him the story, he can tell that, he's hitting his eyes, and he's really tearing up. Like he's not sobbing, it's just a silent cry. And to me, I think when people silent cry, that's when you hurt the most. In my own way, it was a confession to him. It was a confession to say, hey, this is what I meant to give you, and I never did it. I never gave you this card for some reason, and I regret it. Don't ever take it for granted. Don't ever think you have time is on your side, because it's things like that that just come so quick, and it's like, why did I back out of give him that card? Why did I do that? It's something definitely to this day I feel sad that I never did when I had the time, and I took it for granted. The never-ending change with Alzheimer's is already tough, and it's gotten worse actually. There's more challenges now that we face daily since the last time we documented Dad. Financial struggles are still there. The United States government, the Immigration Services has not approved my dad for his residency card. It's a big question mark of what am I going to do if he doesn't get his residency card. It's something that just been pretty much you don't want to think about it daily, because it's such a long process. The immigration process is so long. He's worked and contributed to the Social Security system for 45 years, and he can't get one penny out of it. Nothing. He gets nothing out of it. He just needs that the green card, the residency card, and that itself, it costs so much money. So our struggles still continue. This doesn't get easier. We've come too far to turn back around, and I'm going to do what I have to do to take care of Dad and continue on, with or without a residency card. Hey everybody, today I had to get Dad ready for his appointments, and I had to clean him up a few times in the shower, and today he just had a lot of, accidents, and being frustrated, and just thinking to myself, if we had a green card, which would give us access to his care, his Social Security that he's invested into, it would make everything so much easier. It would give my dad his proper care, and it would give me a mental break that I've been needing the past, 2.5 years. I just happened to go to the immigration site and look up his case, and it says November 6th, his Form I-485 has been approved, and that's his, AKA green card. So I called a lawyer, and I tell my lawyer, I say, Bill, this is what this notice says, and the only thing he said to me was, welcome home. Welcome home. You did it. You did it. We got our help coming to us now. I can't tell you how I feel. Just so happy and so emotional, so excited. Yeah, Pops. Yeah, we got you a green card, man. Thank you, everybody.